Hello and welcome to Beachview, our podcast about different things.
Hey.
Hello.
Good to be here today.
Yep, we're doing another album.
For all the music lovers out there.
So I'm guessing by your sparse comments you want me to introduce this. I mean, I guess it is. I picked the album, so that makes the most sense, but...
Oh yeah, we didn't really discuss who was going to intro it, so yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, the album I picked is The Greatest Generation by The Wonder Years. It's a 2013 album, pop punk, and yeah.
Let's get into this. So, of course, as with every album we do, I had never listened to this album all the way through. I think I've heard like maybe one song off of this album before.
Wait, really? Okay, huh.
Yeah. I didn't write down which song sounded familiar to me. No, I don't have it in my notes. But I like pop punk, so I thought this was a good one, although you did warn me that it was a little bit depressing.
Yes.
And it kind of was.
So. Yeah. Well, that's what it's about. It's about mental health and sort of like legacy and family. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good topic. But I listened to it over, a couple of days and went back and re-listened to some of them, and yeah, it's just, I think if you catch me in the right mood, I'm like, yeah, I like this, and then like another day I was like, oh, this is kind of depressing,
Yeah, it
but
is.
I mean, I think that's what good music does. So yeah, but I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good album. What did you think about this album, or do you want to get into the background first?
Well, I want to get into my background first.
Okay.
So despite it being depressing, that's not why I picked it. I picked it because we have done a lot of popular things. Same with the YouTube video episode we did. And I wanted to pick a rather obscure band. So, and this was the most obscure band I could think of, like your album, that I still had things to talk about.
Oh.
Because there are, I know a few more obscure artists. I just didn't think, like, I would be able to talk about them enough. So.
Yeah. I gotcha. Well, I've heard of the Wonder Years.
Okay.
And I used to, like, I went to the Vans Warped Tour and stuff. That was a lot of punk and pop punk and when I was younger. And yeah, so, and this to me has a sound like Yellowcard or Taking Back Sunday or like Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, like just to kind of relate it to other bands that you may have heard of. But I used to rock to Yellowcard all the time. Like, I love Yellowcard. So this kind of reminded me of Yellowcard.
Yeah, that's from a different era, though. Yeah, I'm familiar with Yellowcard. I don't know too much of their work, but yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from a much different era, though. Like, this came out in 2013, and that's more like a 2003, the bands you listed.
Yeah, I would say like 2005, 2006. Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't say it's a much different era because it's not that, that much farther away. But I see what you're saying. But yeah, it reminded me of them, and because that's kind of the stuff I used to listen to back in the day. So I was like, yeah, I can jam to this. So there were a couple of songs on here that I was like, it's a little too much of a downer for me, But like I said, I think if you're in the right mood, like sometimes you want to listen to those kinds of songs. So
yeah, But yeah, so my thoughts on this are like, I like it a lot. It's like you said, it's definitely like you have to be in a certain mood for some of this, but yeah, it's good. I like the lyrics. I like some of this style of pop punk. There's a lot of like, I don't know like how to describe the qualitative differences, but there's a lot of differences between this and like this your sort of like mainstream like Fall Out Boy style pop punk from like then, and the sort of like Green Day, Blink-182 style from even further back. So yeah, I think the style fits really well.
Yeah, I
the
like it.
themes and stuff. Yeah, I like it.
It definitely does. Yeah. And I mean I think it's pretty cool that they did an entire album like with this kind of, melancholic themes, and to even name it The Greatest Generation kind of thing. Like it's a different take on like your usual pop punk that like you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so want to get into the track by track then?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, first is There There.
I liked that this opened the album. I thought it was a nice little song to get you started.
Yeah, I think this is a great opener.
Yeah. I liked I think the lyrics I wrote down. You're just trying to read, but I'm always standing in your light. You're just trying to sleep, but I'm always wake you up to apologize. I thought that was kind of like a cool little lyric. And I think this is, obviously about a relationship that's not going so well. Maybe. What did you What did you think?
Well, I think it's about like the struggles of like being in a relationship and like dealing with mental health.
Yeah.
Right, like stuff like, I'm sorry I don't laugh at the right times. I don't know whether to read that as like an actual issue in the relationship or just like a worry that like
Like I'm
the
sorry I am
speaker
the way
has.
I am.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just like it's not even like an issue. It's just something that like I'm doing this
Right.
wrong. Something feels wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And it's probably like an introspective, like, I'm sorry I have all this stuff wrong with me, But I don't know, I thought it was a nice little thing.
Right, and I particularly like the lyric, I got my heart strung up on clothing line through tenement windows in mid-July.
Yeah, that's a cool line.
Yeah, I think and I think that's one of the things I like about this band is the lyricism.
Yes.
And that's one of the like clear examples to me just starting out here.
I like it too. It's evocative, I think,
Yeah, and this is a very like raw song, very emotional, and I think the music carries that. The guitar is very good.
I agree.
Yeah. So next song then.
Yeah, well, one more thing I was gonna say, just and a lot of these kind of pop punk things, it's like it starts off kind of subtle, and then they like get into it, their voice kind of carries it the rest of the way, or the music, or like the instruments get louder, and I like that kind of thing.
Build up, yeah.
Yeah, the build up. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Next song.
Yep. Passing Through a Screen Door.
I'm just looking at my notes so I can remember. Okay. Let's see. I thought this song, well, I don't know how you say this because they're all creative, but I thought this one was a good song creatively. I just liked how, like, I don't want my children growing up to be anything like me. Like, it's so, I don't know, it's just such a deep, like, sentiment to this song, kind of, it's, I don't know, it's one of this one was kind of depressing. I mean, they all are a little bit depressing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was, it tells a story, like all the rest of them, and I thought it was a creative one. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I definitely like this, and the line you brought up, all the kids' names I ever like, I don't want my children growing up to be anything like me.
Yeah.
I think that's our first like real pointing to a theme here, which is sort of like family and legacy and like generational sort of like this, because it's like, I'm suffering with this thing and I don't want my kids to have to deal with this, and it's sort of and the like, all the kids' names I ever liked, I don't know what that word is. I've seen it on different lyric websites differently, but inspire tragedy.
Oh, I read recited tragedy.
Yeah,
like when I looked up the lyrics. Yeah,
I've seen it different in different places, and I always heard it as inspired.
Yeah.
But either way, it's like the feeling tragic about that. And I also like sort of this is another thing that happens in the album a few times. It's like specific references to dates. And like especially, with The Greatest Generation, like, this wouldn't be the greatest generation, but the kids of the greatest generation. The line, "Well, I'm still afraid, like a kid in the 60s, staring at the sky, waiting for the bomb to fall."
Yes, that is very, just kind of gives you chills, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that line's good, and I think I like the sort of use of dates woven throughout this album in places here and there.
That's a good note. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this chorus is really good. I like that. And the breakdown at the end, I think is very good, very, like, really putting it out there emotionally. I keep a flashlight and a small knife in the corner of my bedstand. I keep a flashlight in the train times. That sort of, like, fight or flight response of, like, what if I wake up in the middle of the night and I need to just go? That sort of, like, anxious response, again,
Yes.
dealing with mental health.
Yeah, it's I thought that was a really cool kind of thing. I don't want to say cool because it's just, I don't know, you really just get a sense of where they're at in their head right now, But it's so tragic, I think. Like, this song was very tragic to me, but what did you think, like, tears in the screen doors? Like, what do you think that means? Like, to me, I was thinking, like, the screen, like, holds the tears, like, kind of, I don't know. What did you think of that?
So I think it's maybe because, there's a lot about, like, wanting to, get away or feeling so I was born to run away from anything good.
Mm-hmm.
Or the first thing when I do when I walk in is find a way out for when shit gets bad. It's that sort of, like, both that, like, looking, like, for the tears in the screen door to, like, find a way out, but also that, like, I think could also mean, like, the other part of the chorus, I've been waiting for another disaster.
Yeah.
That's the way for the disaster to come in. Like, is the tears in the screen
Right,
door.
like there's the
passage,
screen like holding it in, but it's ready to erupt, kind of thing. Like, or there's a screen, but it's got tears in it, so it's kind of, yeah. I thought that was kind of I don't know, poetic.
Yeah, I think this is definitely good. This song is definitely a good example of the lyricism of this band.
Yeah, and I like that he says, "Jesus Christ, I'm 26. All the people I graduated with all have kids, all have wives, all have people who care if they come home at night."
Right, yeah.
And he says, "Did I F up?" It's kind of like looking at, comparing himself to other, his peers, and kind of like, I don't have that. Am I messed up,
Yeah, and especially the, like, feeling alone and feeling like not having anybody there.
Yeah. Don't you just want to go give him a hug? Just me? I do. Oh, funny. That's how I always feel when I listen to this kind of stuff. Like, I'll give you a hug.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Alright, well, anything else to say about this one?
No.
Okay. So, next song, We Could Die Like This.
Okay, this song, I'm thinking of the next song. Hold on. This is my problem. Like, I write down notes and then I'm like, okay, wait, let me think of how the song goes. Yeah. One day we need to do, like, a listening where we, like, play it, and then I'll have, it'll be easier for me.
No, yeah, that's the hard part. I definitely did that with the Taylor Swift album we listened to, because it's the one album we've done that I didn't know very well.
Yes. Wait, I'm looking.
So it's definitely harder.
Okay, I remember this song now. Okay, so this is the one where you talk about dying in the suburbs.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So basically, this is a pretty easy one to decipher, because they're talking about, like, their hometown, and of course this takes on, like, kind of depressing tone, but he's just saying, he wants to die alone in the suburbs, which, that sounds depressing.
That's not that. It's resignation, The line in the
Yeah.
chorus is, I don't know where else to go.
Right. Yeah. That's it. It's just depressing because it's kind of like, ah, like it's kind of like there's not much going for me. I'll just go run home and curl up and die. Like kind of. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just sad.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Also, the line, a heart attack shoveling snow all alone, is like one of the saddest lines in any song to me. Just something
Yes.
about that picture is just deeply sad.
Right. But like you said, it's resignation. Like, well, I'm just going to be alone. I'm going to die alone, and I'm just going to go to the suburbs and shovel snow and die. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, man. But I like the song. Like, I liked how, like the beat of it and,
Yeah.
the singing and everything. Like, I liked the delivery of it, but I was just like, oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, and despite its, like, depressing tone, the chorus is very, like, sing-alongable.
Yeah.
Like, which is
That's why I
very good
liked
for
it.
pop
Yeah.
punk song.
Exactly.
That's what you want.
Yeah, you could definitely get into this. I mean, like, I could see myself just singing along to this and being like, wait, this is kind of sad. Like, why am I, why am I singing this? Like, it's cheerful. It's not, But, no, I like the song. I thought it was pretty cool. Although
Yeah.
sad.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but I agree with you. The heart attack while shoveling snow, that is kind of, that's like, first of all, if I die while shoveling snow, like,
Right.
no. That's not
It's
gonna
like
happen,
just a
please.
menial task that no
I hate
one wants
snow.
to do, but you have to do, and
Yeah.
the like all alone part, like
Yes. Yeah. It reminded me, you know what it like made me think of on I don't know if you remember Home Alone
yeah.
and like the old guy that shovels snow who like doesn't have any kids and stuff, or maybe he does have kids. I
It
forget.
has been so long since I've seen that movie. I
I
don't
think he was
remember that
estranged.
part.
Yes, I think he was estranged from his kid, and then at the end they end up getting together. Maybe
Oh,
that's what it
okay.
was.
I remember
Anyway,
the
like,
bandits
yeah, but it made me
that
think
would
of
clog up the sink.
the sticky bandits. Yeah. No, it made me think of that old man shoveling snow, like, and how he was afraid of
okay.
them.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, we digress. But yeah, I like the song. Sad, but good song.
Yeah. Okay. So next song.
Yes, Dismantling Summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, thoughts?
Yeah. So this one is about his grandfather having a heart attack, and like waiting in the hospital while also being on tour. Like, they're
Yeah.
a touring band. They go out and perform live shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the tension at the core of this one.
I read that, yeah, his grandfather had a triple bypass heart surgery and survived, but yeah, this is all about the waiting and
Yeah.
I guess kind of explaining to fans like why he's not there on tour, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, cause in their previous work, they talk a lot about like the tensions of being like at tour, like being out and touring and stuff, and like trying to make it as
Yeah.
a band.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like fitting with that.
Yeah, I liked how he said, like, if I'm in an airport, what kind of man does that make me?
Right, if
You
I'm in an
know?
airport and you're in a hospital bed, like feeling like a failure for
Right.
being away from home when this happened and like having to,
Yeah.
wait to get there.
It's definitely like a self-reflection kind of thing. So, I mean, I'm glad it had a happy ending, like his real life situation had a
Yeah.
happier ending. But the thing that I didn't like is when he says I'm pulling wings off of insects. I was like, no.
I
gross.
think that's more of a metaphorical thing.
Yeah, it's just like gross. No. Yeah. I just didn't like it.
But yeah, the chorus here is really good. Again, that very good pop punk sing along sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I like in the first
Yeah.
verse the line, I'm filling your prescriptions. The orange bottles stare me down. They're standing at attention, an army on your windowsill. I like that. I think that's very,
Yes.
poetic, I guess.
I thought the same thing. I thought that was cool. And I think this song definitely captures, the emotion that you're feeling when you have a loved one that's, you don't know what's going to happen, like that kind of thing. And just thinking about what really matters in life kind of thing. I thought that was a good one. And I like the army on the windowsill. I thought that was kind of cool.
Cool callback to the title, too.
Yeah, exactly. I just think it was a very cool verse.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, well, next.
The
bastards, the vultures, the wolves.
The vultures, the wolves, yes. What did you think of this one?
So, I like the opening, little guitar bit, which is, probably the most, timbral, difference in this whole album, minus the one acoustic song.
Yeah.
And I really liked this one. This one, again, great choruses all around, but this one, again, a good chorus.
Yeah.
And I like the contrast between the chorus and the verse. The verses are very sort of, fast and frantic, and the chorus is more, belting out and a bit slower.
Yeah. I like the range of emotion that this song has. To me, it was this unreleased anger, frustration, despair, resignation again. I just thought it kind of brought you through that. You kind of felt that when listening to this song. So I think they do a great job of making you feel, or empathizing with what is being conveyed in the song.
Yeah. And I'd like to point something out. There's a line, and yeah, I came out swinging, but I'm still waking out with 2 black eyes and a split lip. That is a reference to a song from their last album.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's probably more references that I don't get, but this one was a single, and what I like about this is it still makes sense, as the literal meaning, even if you don't get the reference.
Mm-hmm.
But just to give you some context, Came Out Swinging is a song about, again, the sort of, tour life, and, it's kind of like a slice of life for what's been going on.
Yeah.
And one of the, I think, most, the line in particular, I think, that this would be a reference to is the ending bit ends with, I spent the winter writing songs about getting better, and if I'm being honest, I'm getting there. And I think that's what, this is mainly a reference to. I came out swinging.
Yeah.
In the fact that, that's as, trying to get better, and that, but it's still, walking out with 2 black eyes and a split lip. So it's not always, even when you do come out swinging, it's not always easy.
Right. And I think this was telling that, I'm fighting it. I'm fighting this depression and despair kind of thing. But I'm still wounded by it. Mm-hmm. I still am feeling it. And that, I think that's really poetic if that's kind of what the song meant. I'm stuck holding a bomb with a fuse that's still lit. I'm trying, I'm working, I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to fight through it. I'm trying to get through it, but I could go off at any minute, I can feel that I could burst at any, you know what I mean? I just thought that was,
Yeah.
As an angry kid, it's very honest, and, it doesn't try to paint a pretty picture over trauma and how it affects your life kind of thing,
Yeah. And I like the ending bit. I think that's really good. The devil's got a rifle on my front porch with me in his sights. I came looking for a fight.
Yes. And the outro, looking for a fight, yeah.
That is one of 3 places the devil can be, according to this album.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty funny. I liked how in the chorus he says, I'm wondering where you would be without me. Where would you be without me? Where would you be? I think that's kind of, I don't know. To me, I took it as you're the one who is causing this trauma. Where would you be if you didn't have me to take it out on? That's kind of how I took it.
Yeah, I don't know what they use referring to in this, so
Yeah.
it could be a lot of things, like feeling like a failure to someone specific, or
Yeah.
just like people in general, like wondering where, like It's a Wonderful Life situation, wondering where everybody else would be, like would they be better
Yeah.
off without me?
Ah, okay. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
All right. The Devil in My Bloodstream, the second place the devil can be.
Man, the devil's showing up everywhere, huh?
Yeah. Well, so this is, I think, the core of the album. It's a real thesis statement, and it's got a piano in it. It's a soft ballady song until it picks up.
Yeah, I like a good piano. So, again, I felt like this song was, about fighting depression.
Yes.
Right?
And I think this is also about, he mentions his great-grandfather and reading through his memoirs and,
yeah.
Realizing, again, about the legacy and family, realizing, that his great-grandfather struggled with this, and, I've got the same blood coursing through my veins and it'll come through me eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so sad. It's just sad to think about. But I do like the historical, references in here. I just think it's kind of cool and kind of, again, a little bit of that resignation, knowing, depression can run through families and mental health issues can run through families, and how he says, like you just said, the same blood running through me. It's yeah, my great grandfather dealt with this, I'm dealing with this, it's just kind of it's inevitable almost, and all you can do is just fight it,
Yeah. And I really like the chorus. 2 blackbirds on a highway sign are laughing at me at 4 in the morning. They play the war drum out of time, so I'm not sure where I've been marching.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think that's very evocative and very good imagery and very, good poetic writing. I also like that the first time it's done, it's during the, soft piano bit, and then when it picks up, it's just, it got a lot more energy to it the next time it's done.
Yeah. Very nice. I think the outro is just kind of really, it's sad. I want to be strong, but it's not easy anymore. And it's you can feel that. I feel like I've known people who have felt this way. And, it's just kind of, you hate that for them. You want life to be easier. You want everybody to find happiness, but sometimes it's harder for others,
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that was kind of oh, that's sad. Yeah.
All right, and also this is really the core of all the themes.
It is
legacy and family, the depression, and the the title, The Greatest Generation, being at war with depression, at war with yourself.
Yeah.
And especially the refrain towards the end, I know how it feels to be at war with the world that never loved me.
Yes. Yeah, it's just heartbreaking. And again, you just want to go give him a hug. Just be it's gonna be okay. Yeah. Just want to comfort. Yeah. I think next time we need a happier album.
Well, if you want one that's a bit happier from this same band, Suburbia, I've given you my all and now I'm nothing, is better about that. It
based
came
on
out
the
in
title.
2011, so he definitely had a backslide between these 2 albums.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do like the raw emotion, and I just think this genre, you can really sing about that and listen to that in a way that's it just, it makes you just want to get it all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel it could be cathartic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Right, well, next
Alrighty,
song then.
Next. Teenage Parents. Let's see what I wrote down about it. I don't think I wrote notes about this one, did I? No, I didn't write notes about this one.
Oh, okay. Well, this is about his childhood and his parents.
Yeah.
And sort of so the line from the chorus that I think really encapsulates it is, when you're young and you're poor, they hang on your failures, and you always said it would get better.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, and the bridge here is telling a story. My mother wore a sundress on the day that she got married. They held a wedding in the backyard near the city.
Oh, yes. I remember this one. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
I was just one then. I would never remember it, but I heard the voices and implications telling me who I can never be. Like, just sort of...
Yes.
Yeah, growing up in that situation and sort of the challenges of it.
This the one where he says, like, all we have are hand-me-downs and clothes from Goodwill. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know if it's Goodwill the store so much as
Goodwill
is like...
Yes,
yeah.
Goodwill. I took it literally.
I mean, it could...
like hand-me-downs
that could be an
and
intentional
Goodwill,
double meaning.
It could be, yeah. I just, just talking about hand-me-downs, I just immediately thought of the brand Goodwill. But yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Yes, I think that this was, when you're young and you're poor, they hang on to your failures. Like, that was a line in the song that I just thought that was kind of, it's true. Like, what they're saying is, like, real emotions that you feel. And I don't know, like, I just thought this was a cool one. You're strong and naive. You know, if you were scared, well, I would understand. I don't think I would have had the guts to handle it. So it's kind of like he's talking about his parents, how they were poor, grew up poor, but also saying, like, yeah, I kind of get it. You're scared, like that kind of thing. I don't know. This was this wasn't like my favorite song on the album, but it wasn't bad either.
Yeah, I mean, it's furthering the themes of sort of like family there. Like, it talked about, like, just coming from a song talking about his great-grandfather to talking about his parents.
Right, yeah. I like that. And it's true, though, like how from your childhood, like everything in your life can affect you in adulthood and how you feel and how you see the world,
All right, then. Next is Chaser.
Chaser. Okay. What did you think about this one?
Yeah, this is kind of like I don't know, like back of the album, kind of like forgettable track. It's not bad. It's just
yeah.
I don't know. The chorus isn't as strong in this one.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same thing. It's talking about like memories.
Yeah, bad memories at that.
But yeah. You wouldn't expect anything less from this album, but what do you think it meant? I'm a chaser.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to.
I guess something that like floats in the wind. Maybe it's a regional dialect or something. Like because like, but I found stronger winds. I think maybe it's like a term for something that floats around.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Like, what is that?
Don't know.
What does chaser mean? Yeah. I should have Googled it, but I didn't. But yeah, this is, sad memories. I thought this was kind of a...
I mean, it might be like chaser as in, like, shot chaser,
Oh,
but
yeah. Okay.
That doesn't seem to work from context clues.
Yeah. I found stronger winds. I was trying to figure that part out. So I guess this was a song that made me think. But... yeah, this was kind of sad. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. But like you said, it's kind of a backtrack, kind of end of the album kind of song. Didn't really stand out to me too much.
All right, well, next then.
Next we have, what's the next one?
An American Religion, in parentheses, FSF.
What did the SFF
I
mean?
don't know. I didn't look it up.
FSF. Yeah, curious about that one. Oh, I know what that is. It means F school forever.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that has to do with the song, but...
I don't either. An American Religion, F school
I also don't know what the title has to do with the song, unless it's like, cause it's about, like, fame and, like, just sort of, like, where he is right now. Like, just with life and depression, and maybe, like, the sort of, like, fame is the American religion there?
Yeah. Maybe that's, yeah. I guess so.
But I'm sorry for what's in the magazines. It's referring to like interviews and stuff.
Yeah, but I liked how he says, I'm spitting ink onto the pages like blood through broken teeth. I thought that was a cool line.
Right. And I like the way he says the limelight started burning.
Yeah.
Also, this is a good chorus. I like the chorus in this one.
Yeah, this one was kind of a cool one. This one made you think a little bit more. So, and like how he says, I'll always be remembered for my F
Well,
up.
you missed the first
but I'm
part
still
of that,
living in
which
Richie's
is another
basement. What's Truman?
Yeah, it's another
Yeah.
historical
Truman
reference.
will always be remembered for dropping the bomb. Right, yeah, another war reference there. Yeah, and I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. We still talk about nothing. I still feel like the same person I've been. So, kind of like, the more things change, the more they stay the same kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
But I thought this one was cool.
Also, a reference to the previous, to a song on the previous album.
Oh.
Which mentions moving into the basement with Richie, so.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, that is
well, guess he's still living in Richie's basement.
Yeah, this is actually, this is something about this band. They're very, some of his writing is very specific about, his life situation.
Yeah.
I'm living in this guy's basement. And, actually, as their newer albums omit some of that and get more vague, and their older albums are even more, in that direction.
I kind of like that. I like the honesty of it, if it's all real.
Yeah, but I tend to, in lyrics anyways, prefer vagueness than, I'm living in this one specific guy's basement and, just constantly dropping names. But that's just my personal preference.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I think it's very personal and it's very, an honest portrayal, you know? I could go either way.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to, so something we haven't mentioned so far, but there's been sections where they have the same, vocal effect. It's kind of, hard to describe, but very kind of, underwater almost.
Yeah.
It's deeper and sort of further back, and, I like the line in this one. I knew a lot of talented kids who got lost in painkillers and turned into nothing.
Yes.
Sometimes I can still feel it pulling, but I just can't let it happen. That sort of,
yes.
Yeah, especially, because that's a huge issue, still ongoing, but, during this time, he's from Philadelphia, so that's Rust Belt, and that's, big spot for the opioid epidemic.
Yes, and I definitely found that very poignant because, we had a lot of that down here, and just knowing some kids that, had OD'd or, well, I knew a few people who had OD'd, and so it was kind of that was, wow, how he says it's still pulling me, but I'm fighting it kind of thing again, I'm not going to let that happen, so, I thought that was that's an interesting line there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna make me sad, man? Yeah, but it was a good song.
Alright, well, next song then?
A Rain Dance in Traffic. So...
More sad lines.
Out of all the songs, I think this was probably my least favorite on the album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just found it was it's really depressing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was sad. Like he says, the fighter in me must have died a long time ago. I've been watching his ghost, just going through the motions, just putting on a face. It feels like 1929, again with the date.
Yep.
And I'm on the verge of a great collapse today. And I like that, a historical reference, but it's so sad.
Although it's kind of an upbeat chorus despite that.
It is.
There's some ba-ba-ba-das in there.
If you ignore the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get by with it not being as sad, but yeah, this wasn't my favorite. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's you listen to the opening line and it's depressing. I'm fantasizing about doing a rain dance in traffic. I'm fantasizing about a storm to wash me away. That's some metaphors there.
Yeah. I spent the 6 months now feeling like dead weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. like, you poor little guy.
And another war reference later on, the word from the front line says that we're outgunned, but I can't walk away.
Yes. Yeah, it's sad.
Although I like the ending too, like it slows down a bit. I was just happy to be contender, I was just aching for anything. And I used to have such steady hands, but now I can't keep them from shaking.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of that backsliding emphasized there, especially with the hands,
Yes.
is powerful line.
It is. It's a powerful line. Yeah, I was just like, this one bummed me out.
Yeah, it's definitely a sad one.
Not that all of them didn't bum me out. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway.
That's the album, you know?
Yeah. Definitely the album. Okay. So, next.
Yeah, Madeline, which is an acoustic song. So.
Yeah. So, I always like acoustic, usually. So, yeah, this is a good one, obviously, about Madeline.
Yes, specifically addressed to a close friend.
Yeah, and somebody he really, definitely cares about. And it sounds like, they had the same thoughts about the world kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
well, it's clear they both
could relate
have,
to.
yeah, like, issues with depression and mental health.
Yeah. Again, with the devil in your bloodstream.
Mm-hmm.
And the ghosts.
Oh, yeah, that's something I didn't mention. Yeah, there's a lot of mentions of ghosts.
Yeah. That's true. And I thought the reference of the Irish goodbye. I like that. That's funny. You know what an Irish goodbye is?
I had to look it up. Apparently it's leaving with like a party or something without telling anybody.
Yeah, I did that once at a kid's party. It was fun. I was with Travis and I was like, hey, let's do an Irish goodbye. And he's like, okay, let's do it. And so we did, but it felt so weird because usually at like family kids party, like you have to go and tell everybody bye. And we're like, let's just go, man. We call it an Irish exit. But anyway, I thought that was funny.
Why is that an Irish thing? Like, that feels like just
I don't know.
leaving. Like, you can just call that just leaving. I don't know.
I don't know, but in the South, it's like it's so hard to leave a place without telling literally everyone bye 5 times. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I thought that was funny. When I first heard of an Irish exit, I was like, we're doing this. Yeah. And so it was fun. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But I really like the chorus here. I like the musically, the build up, the like the drums and the sort of xylophone in it. It's got a nice little twinkly feel.
Oh, the xylophone. I do like a good xylophone in music too.
I assume it's a xylophone. It's some sort of pitch percussion instrument similar to a xylophone, if not.
I mean, sounded like a xylophone to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it. Yeah. But again, this was another kind of sad one. Yeah, it's so, says, I don't think that's the worst news of the day. I don't think there's a God. I don't think that there's someone coming to save me. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, what a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's a portrayal of, how he feels. So.
Yes, well, like the first song says, I've got my heart strung up on clothing lines. It's very honest.
Yeah, it is very honest. And I appreciate the honesty. There you go. Okay, next song is Cul-de-sac.
Yes, this is probably the closest thing to a happy song on this album.
I don't know if I would say it was happy.
Well, it's
Maybe.
positive, ultimately,
Yeah.
even if it's not very happy.
Yeah, I guess ultimately it's positive. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's about dealing with the toxic friendship and, like, letting go of it.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a positive thing, but just the, I guess the going through that is kind of a hard thing to do,
Yeah.
So it's still like a emotionally tough kind of song, but I thought it was, it's sad in a way that, like, it's good for him to shed that, but at the same time, it's like, it's obviously there's heartache in it. So, I don't know. I just think, like, it's very, again, emotional. It was good, but it's just, I think I'm looking for the line that I thought was really kind of sad. Oh, I thought my kids would call you uncle. I thought we'd never be alone. And then he goes into, if you walked me home, then you would know how weak my arms got. I just can't carry you.
Yeah.
It says, if you walk me home, but you won't, you're all alone on some bullshit pill bottle vision quest. Again, it's like the drug use,
Yeah, and that's clearly, like, part of the rift here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like, oh, it's sad that you can't carry somebody with you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're trying to get out of this and escape that, but you can't bring somebody with you. They have to bring themselves, kind of thing. So that's really sad. It made me think of I had a friend from high school who lost her brother last year. He OD'd, and it was like they could see him falling apart, but there was nothing they could do. They tried to help him so much, and you can't, so I guess that's why it made me sad. I thought about that.
Yeah, it's definitely, and yeah, it's definitely, like, a hard place to be in, like, trying to hold on.
Yeah.
And again, like, from the line you said, I thought my kids would call you uncle, like, that's very clearly someone that he's very close to, or was.
Yeah, it's so sad. I'm just like, oh, but good for you for walking away,
Yeah. Also, I really like the line, I've been holding on like poison ivy at a suburban concrete, like,
yes.
That's very evocative, and also, like, the poison ivy, which is, poison.
Yeah. I thought that was cool, because it's like, the out of the concrete, like, almost like I'm flourishing, not flourishing, but like I'm growing in a place that is so inhospitable, but I'm making it through, but also I'm poisoned from it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I thought that was that's a cool line.
And I really like this chorus. It's a good chorus.
For sure. All right, next.
All right, and the last song, I Just Want to Sell Out My Funeral.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the closer and medley of most of the other songs on this album.
Yeah.
It quotes and or like both musically and sort of like builds on them. And also, I don't like it at all.
I wouldn't say I don't like it at all, but it's definitely, it's kind of a culmination of it's a good closing song, I think. Would you say that?
I think you could have cut this out and the album would be stronger for it.
That's okay. I could see that one. This one was the tough song, chorus. I want to sell out my funeral. I just want to be enough for everyone.
Yeah.
That's that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. Let it go, man. Let it go.
Well, that's part of it, That's like what he's dealing with, and like wanting to like know it at the end of it all, that like everybody came to his funeral, that he was well liked and respected and all that.
Yeah.
And so apparently I looked this up for some context, that he mentioned once that his great-grandfather, who was mentioned earlier in this album, sold out his funeral, by his words, so.
Yeah, that's sad. I think, like, so it takes the other songs, like, lines from the other songs and puts them in this one, right?
Yes, and not just lines, but, like, the actual, like, it plays the bits, that's why it's a medley.
Yeah, so that, to me, was unusual, okay?
Yes.
So, I mean, it was, in a way, it was interesting. Like you said, I don't know that it really works. It was, it's a culmination of everything. That's fine.
Yeah.
It was just okay to me. It wasn't the best.
No, I don't like this one. I think it's like a very cheesy way to end things by like just literally pulling in everything rather than like trying to do that through writing.
Yeah, it's almost like an essay summary, and you're just taking all the ideas and concluding it at the end, you know?
Hmm. And like I don't like the I don't generally like medleys, and I don't like how this one goes. I think it's the worst version of the parts from the album they're pulling from, and I think it's way too long, and it just it keeps going.
Yeah, it's very long. Yeah, that was one thing I didn't like about it. It's like, you know, this is yeah, way too much.
And also, the third place the devil can be, which technically is also referenced in the album art. There's no devil on my shoulder, he's got a rocking chair on my front porch. So, the
Yep.
three places the devil can be, per this album, are on your shoulder, on your front porch, or in your bloodstream.
In your bloodstream. Yeah. That devil is everywhere. Yeah. So I think like overall, it sounds like I'm down on the album. I'm not. It's good music. I like the music. I like this genre. I like this band. I like the album pretty much. But as I said, I feel like you have to be in the right mood because it can bring you further down, or it can be like, just a nice listen. So it depends on what your mood is and what you're looking for in your music that day, So, but I thought it was good. The band is obviously talented. I like them. The music's good. So I don't want it to sound like, oh, it's such a bummer. Although this album kind of was a bummer. But in a good way, I guess.
Right, and I think one thing I do actually like about I Just Want to Sell at My Funeral is the lyrics at the end.
Yeah.
Which are, because I'm sick of seeing ghosts and I know how it's all gonna end. There's no triumph waiting, there's no sunset to ride off in. We all want to be great men and there's nothing romantic about it. I just want to know that I did all I could with what I was given, and that's sort of like a resolution to the themes.
Yeah.
Of being, like, at war, and it's just there's no great, like, triumph, it's just fighting for it and, like, knowing that at the end,
living through
doing
it.
your best.
Yeah,
that you did your best.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. It's realistic. It's a little sad, but it's also realistic. Like, don't expect that you're gonna have, there's no triumph waiting, as he says. There's no sunset to ride off into. So I think that's good. Like, don't expect your life to be this great thing, which is kind of sad, but in a way it's not sad. It's just kind of like, just live through it. Like, enjoy life as it is,
Right. I think that's a really good resolution, like I said, of the themes that,
Yeah.
of, like, legacy and of mental health and being, like, just, trying your best with what you can.
Yeah, with what you're given. Yeah.
And good album. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good album. It is. I'm just like, I don't know. The first time I listened to it, I was like, oh, I like this. And then, like, the next time I listened to some of them, I was like, oh, they're really sad.
Yeah, well, so I did warn you going in.
Yeah, you did. You said it was going to be a little bit of a bummer. Not in those words. Those are my words. But
yeah.
Yeah. But overall, good album, good band, good songs. I liked it.
Yeah. Definitely a good example of the genre and of, like, just, good songwriting, good lyrics. Yeah. Alright, well, yeah. I don't have anything else to say. Do you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I can totally see just, like, having a rough time, just, like, rocking out to one of these, like, blasting it, and just, kind of feeling those emotions and letting it be, a catharsis for you. So there you go. There's positivity there.
Yeah. Well, you want to take us out?
Yeah. So that has been our review, song by song, of The Greatest Generation by The Wonder Years. Join us next time. We hope you enjoyed listening. Bye.
Bye.